This is the cast and the crew and the writer and everybody. Welcome, everybody. I am Molly Cash. I am the COO of the ISA. This is the ISA's table read event. We are thrilled to have you here tonight. We are celebrating Mugs Cahill. Mugs, the grand prize winner of the Table Read My Screenplay competition with her pilot script, Nantucket. As you can see, I just want to make a quick note. We have an ASL interpreter on tonight, two of them who are going to be taking turns, Nicole and Aaron. Thank you so much, ladies. It is my true pleasure to introduce you all to Mugs Cahill. I know you're going to enjoy the show tonight. Mugs, I've known you for a while now, and I've never had the opportunity to work one-on-one with you, and it's been fantastic. It's really great. I loved it. Thank you so much, A, for writing the script, and well, B, for winning. When it was given to when it was given to me to read, because I didn't get to choose it, but I would have chosen it if it was my decision. Also, Felicity got to choose it. When it was given to me to read, I was so excited. Mystery has always been one of my favorite genres. This story is so much fun. The characters are fantastically multifaceted. And you know, I really can't wait to see this on air, because I need to know what happens in the second episode now. I'm hooked.
I might tell you.
Oh, okay, good. I'll keep it a secret. We know there are so many more successes headed your way really soon, and we're so excited that we can be a part of that journey with you. So thank you.
Thank you so much. You know, it's just really interesting because as writers, we spend so much time with words on a page that we hope they're the perfect words that are going to translate to a screen. And so this is a really amazing opportunity to see those words come to life. So I want to just start by thanking Anne Renton, who couldn't be here. So Anne, if you're listening, have fun in Australia, but her dedication, her enthusiasm in directing the table read, and her notes were amazing. And I really have to give a big thank you to the actors who were so giving of their time and their talent. A huge shout out to Heidi Salzman, who I'm pretty sure is in every single scene. Thank you, Kelsey, Peter, I'm gonna get Rebecca, Will, Pierce, Sal, Jeanette, Anthony, Paul, ISA's very own Shayna, and a massive thank you to the ISA. Thank you, Scott, for all of your work. And Molly, thank you. I haven't seen this yet either, so I'm really excited to see it and experience it with everybody here. So thank you.
Yay, awesome. I'm excited for you to see it too. Yes, so Anne unfortunately could not be here tonight. She is in Australia, but she did send along a pre-recorded message that we're going to share a little later, so you can all hear from her. And my message to you, Anne, thank you so much for directing this for us. It's been such a pleasure working with you for the second time now. You're such a wonderful collaborator, supportive, talented, easy to work with. Thank you again for your time and energy and making this project truly amazing. Cast, everybody, this is most of the cast that you see on screen. Thank you all so much. As Mug said, you're all fantastic. You were each perfectly cast in these roles, not to give any pat on the back to myself and Mugs and Anne or anything, but you really brought these characters to life. Truly, thank you for all of your time and talent. ISA team, everybody had a hand. Everybody on the team had a hand in bringing this event to fruition. I am going to shout out the one and only fantastic Scott Marcus first and foremost. Man, you stepped up. We've done 3 of these now, and everyone is better than the next. The work and time and effort you put into being an editor. You're not an editor, you're a sound mixer, you're a content creator, you're a sourcer, you're an editor, you're everything. Well, effects, everything.
It's, well, you know, I love this. And the weird thing about the unfortunateness that we can't do these in person like we used to do is that, you know, oh gosh, do we just want to sit and watch another Zoom screen? And so like as the editor, a few of these ago, I thought like, well, let's see if we can start to make these more exciting, more interesting. And then each time it's grown. And I've been very blessed that for, I don't know if it's 4 scripts or so now, I've had just the best material to work with. And it's made me want to do bigger and better because I feel like I owe it to the script. So that just goes back to Mugs starting it all. It always starts with a pen.
Or a keyboard.
Here. That is true.
Awesome. Thank you, Scott. And we lucked out. Most people haven't heard it yet. But Scott's wife, Wendy, is a super talented musician. And you guys, she composed for this. It's really awesome. So I'm super excited. It took this to a whole new level. So Wendy, thank you so much. Shayna, thank you for everything you do behind the scenes, which is sometimes a thankless job, not the least of which is keeping me completely sane, or maybe come from going completely insane. I thank you, and for putting us back together with Anne, and for your help on the poster design with Liz Sweeney poster. Thank you so much. Thank you to our readers and our development team, including Felicity, who's with us tonight, our VP of development, Jaren, Jordan, Jeffrey, and Beth. They read literally thousands of scripts to find the gem of Nantucket to bring it to you tonight. Our top-notch marketing department of Danielle and Caitlin, who promote this contest and event for months and months, provide us with gorgeous images and web pages that present it all to you. Thank you. And the whole ISE team who keeps this ship afloat and helps give opportunities to writers to advance their careers. You know, you're all fabulous, and I love you so much. Thank you. And last but not least, a big thank you to the sponsors of the competition, the Table Read My Screenplay competition, the Wrap, Script Studio, CreatorsVault.com, and Screen Right Now. Thank you so much. If you like what you see tonight, and I'm pretty sure you're going to, and you think to yourself, wow, this is really cool. How do I have this happen to me? How do I get one of these? Good news for you, because we just launched the next season of Table Read My Screenplay. You can find it up on our ISA site on the contest page, also on tablereadmyscreenplay.com. And now through March 17th, it is the mega early deadline, so it's only $29. So feel free to apply, and please do. And once it is over, please do stick around, because we're going to hear a message from Anne Renton, and then we're going to see a Q&A with Mugs and Felicity, our VP of development, moderated by Shayna. We are all going to go off camera and zip our lips, and we're going to watch This Is Nantucket. Enjoy it, everybody.
Hi, I'm Heidi Solzman, and I'm playing Aisling Keneally.
Hi, I'm Kelsey Scott, and I'm playing Kendra Swear.
Hi, I'm Rebecca Sohn, and I'm playing Miriam Quarry.
I'm Pierce Livingston, and I'm playing Finn.
Hi, I'm Peter Larney. I'm playing Captain Emmett Strong.
Hi, I'm Sal Rendino, playing Edgar Arsenault.
Hi, I'm Will Bowers. I'm playing Tim Bascom and Werner Whitshane.
I'm Jeanette O'Connor, and I'm playing Marcia and Doris Folger.
Hello, I'm Paul Antonio Hutton. I'll be playing Jerry Moshut, the deckhand, and Sheriff Bob Wixom.
Hi, I'm Anthony Bertram. I'm playing Bosco and Foreman.
I am Shayna Weber, and I'm playing Female and Lil.
Hi, I'm Molly Cash, and I'll be your narrator. Nantucket Pilot, written by Mugs Cahill. Exterior Nantucket Sound, Manannan Lighthouse, present day. Pelting rain mixes with the ocean as darkness fights the sun for dominance. On the rocky shore, the remote lighthouse consists of a semi-detached cottage and tower enclosed by rubble stone walls. Interior Manannan Lighthouse, lantern room. An antique brass telescope, its sights on the horizon. A male arm, the sleeve of a worn wool jacket evident, holds a handheld weathered nautical spyglass. It's inscribed Emmett Strong, Captain, Ship Berinthus. The spyglass POV. Exterior Nantucket Sound. Furious waves thrash a sleek modern sailboat. On deck, 2 college-age males struggle to tame the mainmast, frantically trying to save the boat and themselves. In the cockpit, a female screams into the ship's radio.
Mayday, Mayday, this is the Eaton. My position is... Shit, I don't know. Damn it. Mayday.
On the aft deck, a second female wearing a Cassidy's Pub baseball hat calmly searches in a first aid kit, finds a black Sharpie. She scribbles on the inside of her hat's brim, puts the cap back on, tosses the Sharpie into the sea. She looks to her boatmates, unaware of her in their panic. She purposefully steps up on the rail and does a perfect swan dive off the boat. Her body doesn't resurface. 6 months later. Exterior open ocean afternoon. Gray skies, light rain, fierce storm on the horizon. The Nantucket ferry navigates choppy water. Interior, the Nantucket ferry. Many empty seats. The few passengers wear sweaters and rain gear. It's off-season. Aisling Keneally paces near the windows, cell phone at her ear. Her waterproof raincoat and bucket hat are designed as much for fashion as they are for function.
I said, I can't hear you. I can't. Hang on. Hang on.
She marches out the door. On the deck, Aisling, the only person out there.
Why are you badgering me? If I needed you to come, I would have asked you to come. Well, it feels like badgering. I'm not projecting.
The rain intensifies. A pod of seals playfully navigates the choppy waters alongside the ferry.
Love has nothing to do with this. You're analyzing me and it's annoying. Because it's windy. I'm outside.
The boat rocks. Aisling grabs the rail. Below her, a seal races to keep up with its pod. It abruptly flips up, its full body now gliding on the water's surface. Aisling sees a unique scar on its pelt. She peers for a closer look, but the seal submerges. A deckhand slips and slides, struggling to keep his balance as he maneuvers to her.
Ma'am! Hey, ma'am!
A foghorn.
Yes, I'm here. I can barely hear you. I'll call you later.
She stuffs her phone in her pocket. The deckhand wildly waves his hands.
Ma'am! You have a death wish or something? It's a wicked storm out here. It's not safe here.
She slips and slides, following the deckhand back inside. On the horizon, Nantucket Island. Exterior Surfside Road, Nantucket, new home site. Rain lightly falls as construction workers prepare the land for a new home. One of the construction men, Jerry Maship, separates rocks from a mound of dirt. He pulls at a large rock. It loosens dirt that's quickly becoming mud. He picks up an unearthed object. It's a bone. He pushes mud aside. Another bone. The rain intensifies. Jerry rubs the dirt off the bones, but there's something else in the mud that grabs his attention. Part of a skull. Buckets of rain plummet to the ground, and if that wasn't enough to stop construction, a crack of thunder and a lightning flash.
Everybody off the site. Let's go. Shut it down.
The construction workers, with the exception of Jerry, scramble to their vehicles.
Marsha, hey, when I say shut down, you shut down. I don't need a lawsuit because you're stupid enough to get struck by lightning.
We got an issue here.
Jerry holds up the bones for the foreman to see.
It's probably someone's golden retriever.
Jerry pushes aside the mud with his boot. The skull.
Shit. Go, I'll handle it.
Jerry peers at him. The foreman dangles a truck key.
I said I'll handle it. You got dump duty, rain or shine. When you get back, leave the key on the tire.
Jerry takes his time walking to a nearby dump truck that's loaded with construction waste. Exterior Nantucket Island, Ocean Street Dock. The torrential rain eases to drizzle. Carrying an oversized purse that doubles as an overnight bag, Aisling walks down the ferry ramp. She maneuvers past passengers waiting to board. The cobblestones are slick. Aisling's foot slips out from under her just as a tall, blonde, 30-ish preppy man jogs by. He grabs her arm to keep her from falling and uses his hand to steady her.
Thanks.
But he's already on his way. Aisling shudders like a blast of cold shot up her spine. Her head spins toward the jogger.
Chip?
He turns directly toward her. A sly smile, then quickly ascends the ramp.
What the fuck?
Her phone rings. It's Kendra. She sends it to voicemail, then texts, "Headed to lawyer, will call later." Interior law office of Bascom & Bascom, common area. Paralegal Marcia blows her nose. She wipes the red, swollen, tearful eyes under her reading glasses.
I'm really very sorry, but is there no one else in the office who can help me? Who's handling his other clients?
Mr. Bascom only died this very morning.
Tim Bascom emerges from his office.
Marcia, going home. Tim Bascom, how can I help you?
Aisling Keneally, I had a meeting with your brother. I'm sorry for your loss.
Ted was my cousin. Marcia, go home.
I get this is a bad time. If I had known, I would have rescheduled. In fact, I would have preferred to handle it over the phone to begin with, but your cousin was adamant that the paperwork be signed in person. I'm still unclear as to why. This whole thing has been a
shit show. That would be Ted, king of the shit show. I'll be frank with you. You probably could have done this over the phone. My guess is that Ted engineered this nonsense.
What do you mean?
I don't know.
Marcia hands him a folder. He motions, come on, to Aisling. She follows him out the back. Exterior Bascom Law Office courtyard. An overhang shields Aisling and Bascom from the drizzle. Bascom picks up a cigarette pack from the patio table. He offers it to Aisling.
I don't smoke.
Me either.
He tosses the pack back down. They sit.
Here's the deal. Ted handled the estate of an old woman who wanted to leave her property to someone who would love it as much as she did. She probably thought that they would love it just by looking at it and not sell it. She wanted it preserved. Your daughter a conservationist?
My daughter barely turned 18, and to my knowledge, she never met this woman.
You don't know what kids are up to.
I knew my daughter very well, Mr. Bascom. We were very close.
No offense, speaking from personal experience. Anyway, Anam was eccentric.
Anam?
Marie Anam, the old woman, eccentric as they come. And that's saying a lot around here. Ted agreed to whatever made her happy, aka whatever he needed to keep her paying legal bills. That's the kind of shit, excuse me, he pulled. And it got worse and worse. You think you know someone because you grow up together and you're around each other every single day in, day out. You know someone pretty well, right? No, you don't. Anyway, Miss Leal Keneally,
my daughter,
your daughter, was put in Marie Anam's will as the recipient of the property upon Miss Anam's death. The will further stipulates that it would automatically revert to your daughter's legal beneficiary if she should, well, you know,
die.
And that beneficiary is you.
He puts papers from a folder and a pen in front of her.
Sign, and it's yours.
That's it? Your cousin couldn't courier these to me?
I said it. Nonsense. Who knows why?
Mananan. Is that near here?
Other side of the island. You can see Tuckernuck across the strait when the fog banks are cooperative.
He takes a cigarette out of the pack.
You mind?
I do. Actually, I can't take the smell.
He puts the cigarette on the table.
Filthy habit. Ted gave it up. He could do that. Set his mind on something.
Aisling reads, then signs the papers as Bascom sniffs the air, lost in thought.
Steamed quahogs, melted butter, the best. During the season, the smell is fried grease. Know why? Tourists eat fried quahogs by the bushel. Best way to eat them? Steamed, delicious. Fried, disgusting. Ted and I would laugh about that.
Mrs. Wade on the line. She's called 3 times.
Who?
Mrs. Wade, Mr. Bascom's client, about the Whaling Museum.
Was there no end to his jackassery?
Marcia goes back inside. Bascom takes the signed document and shoves it in a folder.
I'll have Marcia make copies. Should only take a few minutes. You can wait inside if it's too cold out here.
I'm good, thanks.
Mrs. Keneally?
Miss.
I'm sorry. A kid. That's tough.
Aisling acknowledges with a slight nod. He goes inside. Aisling puts the cigarette on the table, back in the pack. Deleted scenes. After Jerry dumps the construction debris, he peruses the latest cast-offs at the town dump, known to the locals as the Nantucket Mall. He discovers a scrimshaw hidden in its springs of a vintage upholstered chair. It depicts a young girl balanced on the edge of a jetty as she watches seals swim among the rocky outcropping. Aisling checks into her B&B and is given a briefing by the young, non-believing desk clerk about the lore of ghosts on the island. Supposedly, Aisling's room is haunted. Interior Water Street Inn, Aisling's guest room. Aisling, nestled in the window nook, is on her cell phone. Interior, Kendra's office, same time. Modern, posh. Large glass windows provide a view of Boston's skyline and its beyond. PhD psychiatry diplomas hang next to photos featuring dignitaries posing with Aisling and Kendra Swear. From a comfortable leather chair, Kendra scribbles her autograph on hardback books handed to her by her assistant, Luce. Next to the book, Kendra's cell phone sits on the table. It's on speaker with a photo of Aisling.
Aisling, honey, it was not Chip.
I looked right at him. Kendra, it was Chip Smith. I even recognized the jogging suit he was wearing.
Who wears a jogging suit from that long ago? Who even says jogging suit anymore? I'm surprised you remember what Chip looked like.
We were married.
For like a week. You've been with me for 17 years, more or less, on and off, and you still mix me up with that barista from Hyde Park. Okay, not funny. Got it.
Am I on speaker?
Yeah.
Anyone else in the room?
Kendra hits her mute button and waves Luce away.
No.
Kendra, I saw him. I thought Chip was dead.
Luce picks up the signed copies and heads to the door. Kendra motions, close the door. Luce closes it behind her.
Are you there? I said I thought he was dead.
Because he is.
He looked at me.
You saw someone who looks like the guy you dumped for me after getting pregnant with not his child and who is now dead. And you're back for the first time to the place you conceived that child. You're grieving. Does that cover it?
Aisling stares out the window, rain and more rain. She unlatches the window and cracks it open.
You there? What are you doing?
I'm opening a window.
What floor are you on?
Oh my God, seriously? It's stuffy in here. I can't get the heat to turn down. Fucking relax.
Ash, I'm worried. It was too soon for you to...
Don't.
What? Care about you? Being an expert on grief doesn't mean you don't have to deal with your own.
Don't. You may not analyze me.
Come home. Leave the property as is for now. We'll go back in the summer and figure it out.
I'm processing my grief just fine. I'll call you later or tomorrow.
Aisling hangs up. Kendra picks up her phone. The call is disconnected.
Okay. Love you too.
She tosses the phone to the chair next to her. Exterior, Nantucket Land Trust, later. A back in 30 sign taped to the door. Aisling pulls at the door anyway. Locked. She walks away. Interior, Winds of Change Antiques. A small brass nautical bell above the door jingles as Aisling opens it and enters. Weathered maps, nautical scopes and instruments, marine life paintings. The shop is a treasure trove of seafaring antiques and collectibles, without a speck of dust. A glass case against the wall showcases antique scrimshaw. Aisling opens the case, picks one up. The etching on it is a sinking ship in a storm, mast broken and wood debris. Owner Doris Folger enters from the back room, eyeglasses at the ready around her neck. Doris is a walking Wikipedia of every truth and tall tale on the island. Doris nods to Aisling's bag slung over her shoulder.
You're either carrying groceries to settle here for a spell, or you're planning on stealing something and need a big sack to put it in. I'm joshing. You don't seem like a thieving type. Besides, I got cameras.
Visiting, just for a night.
Got here just in time. Last ferry in or out canceled because of the nor'easter. Are you a collector?
No, I don't know much about scrimshaw.
The only art form that originated in America. Carvings were done by crews on whaling vessels. No nation had more whaling ships afloat than America, some 650 at one time. Scrimshanders were whalemen.
Yeah, it's so detailed.
The whaleman who carved that one is unknown, but it's story. And I said story, not tale, because the tragedy is documented truth. A captain who abandoned his crew for the sake of a tainted treasure.
What treasure?
Doris gently takes the scrimshaw from Aisling's hand and puts it back in the case.
A fierce northerly gale created treacherous waters on February 12th, 1861. And on that day, the ship, a 3-masted bark named the Berinthus, was abandoned by Captain Emmett Strong off the shores of Old Man Shoal. From the shore, the mast was seen swirling in the vortex until it slipped into the ocean's graveyard, along with the 13-man crew. God rest their souls.
I thought a captain went down with the ship.
Well, the Berintha still rests on the sea floor. Its captain did not. People saw Strong take a drink at the tavern up the street and then never seen again. Some say he holed up in the lighthouse near Tuckernuck, which back then may as well have been the end of the world. No truth to it, though. The lightkeeper, a good Quaker, would never have lied about something like that.
The lighthouse near Tuckernuck. Monanan Lighthouse?
Yes, was in the Onum family for 150 years. Marie Onum took ownership when she was a young thing. Her mother had died, father not long after. The light stopped shining back in the 40s when the government shut it down during the war. Marie never lit it up again. Most days she'd get a ride out there to sit and ponder. You know, she lived to be 102 and left it to some stranger. Folks were hot under the collar about that. Let me tell you, she was mad as Huckleberry Chowder toward the end, but apparently her will was dated years ago, so the court let it stand.
Why were people angry?
Land Trust thought they'd get it. Some think her lawyer, God rest her soul, pulled a fast one. She left it to a perfect stranger. Could you imagine?
Actually, I can.
Aisling sees Chip jog past the window. Double take, unsure.
I should get going.
Aisling makes for the door.
Oh, make sure to squeeze in a visit to the Whalen Museum. I'm a docent.
Aisling nods, quickly walks out. Doris, using a key around her neck, locks the case. She double checks it. Satisfied, she returns to the back room. Deleted scenes. Aisling scans the street, but no sign of Chip. Near an ice cream shop, she longingly watches as a teen girl and mother enjoy time together. She snapped back to reality when Edgar Arsenal, the stereotypical vision of Nantucket male wearing faded red khakis and Stutterheim rain jacket, politely asks her to step aside because she's leaning on his Land Rover. She returns to the Land Trust office, but it's still closed. Exterior Nantucket Whaling Museum establishing. A former 1800s candle and oil factory, the museum retains the original architecture and character. Interior Whaling Museum. Artifacts and art include a 46-foot sperm whale skeleton suspended from the ceiling. Aisling wanders, glancing at the exhibit, lost in thought. Edgar beelines for her.
We meet again.
Aisling's blank stare.
Ice cream nerd. Parking prohibitor.
Right. Sorry, I'm distracted. Again.
I thought you were enamored with all things AC. Nantucket.
Yeah, I know what AC is.
Edgar Arsenault Real Estate. Also on the board of the museum, so if you want a private tour or have any questions, I'm happy to oblige.
Aisling Keneally, thank you, but I need to get going.
She walks away. He joins her as she heads to the exit past the various exhibits.
I can't interest you in a rental for the upcoming season? A property for sale before you go? I have to ask. I'm a real estate guy.
I am getting rid of a property, but I'm donating it to the Land Trust.
The Land Trust? That's interesting. I know every property on the island. Oh, of course, you're Aisling Keneally, the new Monanan owner. Other side of the island, near Tuckernuck.
How do you know that?
Ted Bascom, God rest his soul, was a friend. And I'm on the board of the Land Trust.
I heard the Land Trust was upset about not getting it, so this will make you happy and it saves me a third trip to the office. How can I get the transfer drawn up?
I'm a big proponent of conservation, obviously, but truthfully, I don't know if the Land Trust is the answer.
What do you mean?
Time. It's been neglected for so long that the expense could be prohibitive for the trust right now. Private sector is where the deep pockets are. If it sits much longer, I'm concerned it'll be beyond repair. That would be a shame. Truly, a damn shame. I happen to know someone who would love to restore that place to its original glory, and you'd make a nice song on it.
It needs that much repair?
You haven't seen it?
Not yet.
Well, once you see it, you'll want to restore it yourself.
I'm definitely not doing that.
Well, then it's fortunate that I know a potential buyer. I'd hate to see such a treasure so neglected. I'm happy to introduce you. He'll be back in a week or so.
I'm leaving tomorrow with the hope that I'm done with it. So if you have a buyer who wants to restore it, that sounds like the right thing to do. I'll sell.
Terrific. I'll get the papers together this afternoon.
They come upon a scrimshaw exhibit. They stop.
I'd like to catch the earlier ferry in the morning.
We'll connect early. My office is down the street from here, Arsenal Realty. Or better yet, let me buy you breakfast.
I'm at the Water Street Inn. I hear they have a good one.
Edgar sticks out his hand.
I'm so glad to have run into you. What are the odds?
They shake. Edgar smiles and leaves. Aisling stares at the scrimshaw, fascinated. Deleted scene. Aisling, looking for something to eat, spots the Brotherhood of Thieves tavern. She goes in. Interior, Brotherhood of Thieves. The scattered clientele represent the locals instead of the summer playground of the rich. Aisling peels off her wet jacket, sits at the bar. The bartender, Bosco, puts a bowl of oyster crackers in front of her. His name badge states ARG.
Blanton's, 1 cube, and a menu.
Aisling pops a few crackers into her mouth. She checks her cell phone. No signal. He puts a menu and her bourbon in front of her.
Service is spotty in here on a good day.
Your name is Arg?
It's Bosco, but I like R. I answered either.
Aisling sips her drink and downs a few more crackers. On a wall declaring Thieves Hall of Fame hang framed paintings of bygone era seafarers. George Pollard, whose voyage inspired Moby Dick. Absalom Boston, the first Black captain with an all-Black crew. The last painting, hanging upside down, reads Captain Emmett Strong. A glass box under the caption displays a whaler's chalk pin and a whalebone scrimshaw. At the end of the bar, Miriam Quarry nurses her beer. Miriam, with her long hair and worn jeans, looks like she came straight off the Carole King tapestry tour. Miriam puts her drink on the bar next to Aisling's. Aisling turns to her.
I only miss you when I breathe.
Aisling leans away. WTF?
I'm so sorry. I recognized you and I thought I'd impress you with my favorite quote from one of your books, Manifestation of Grief and Loss. I only miss you
when I breathe, right.
So you are Dr. Aisling Keneally?
Yes, I am.
Sorry. That was fucking weird.
Yes, it was.
I recognized you from your dust jacket. I'm such a geek. Can I buy you a drink?
You should.
Bosco. Miriam Quarry. I own my pie.
You never have too much pizza.
It's a bakery. I got the location before the name, 14 March Road. Easy to remember, March the 3rd month, so 3 and 14.
3.14, the numerical value of pi. You are a geek. Is March Road in town?
Never been to Nantucket?
Once, almost 20 years ago. My bachelorette party in this bar, no less.
Well, this place hasn't changed at all, other than I no longer work here and the ice machine does.
Bosco sets their drinks in front of them. Aisling sips, her eyes wandering to the painting of Captain Strong. She stares at it, at him. Even upside down, he appears to be staring back at her.
Ah, the disgraced captain of yore. Nothing worse on this island than a captain who abandons his ship.
But Aisling isn't listening. Cut to flashback. Interior, Brotherhood of Thieves, 19 years ago. Noisy and mobbed, the in-season disposable income crowd drink and carry on. A banner on the wall states, "Last fling before the ring." Parting below the banner, younger Aisling gets her drink on with 10 female friends. She wears a plastic tiara and sash across her chest that reads, "Chip's vagina forever." Younger Aisling hangs on younger Kendra. The night is not young and they've had plenty to drink. They guide each other to a booth and plop down.
I have to tell you something.
I think I already know, Ash.
No, I have to confess. I am a virgin.
Like a virgin? Virgin? I thought you weren't sleeping with Chip because maybe
I
you
told him
just-
I wanted to wait, but I don't. Help me find somebody to have sex with before I get married. I have 1 week.
maybe you don't want to have sex with Chip because there's something
gotta go
else.
pee.
But
Ashley makes her way through the mob. She spots a guy with a head of brown curls hanging on the face of a tender smile. He winks. She's entranced.
Aisling, you okay?
Interior Brotherhood of Thieves present. Aisling stares at the Captain Strong painting.
Aisling, you okay? Hey, you okay?
Have those always been here?
Older than me.
I barely remember a thing about that night.
Aisling downs her drink, abruptly stands.
I should go while there's a break in the weather. Thanks for the drink.
Aisling heads out, putting her coat on as she does.
You sure you're okay?
But Aisling is out the door. Interior Nantucket Town Hall, Werner Wickshane's cubicle. Werner Wickshane, old school Nantucket, leads the Conservation Commission subcommittee of the Community Preservation Committee. Jerry drops government forms on Werner's desk.
When will it be done?
It's not an overnight process. I need to make sure these are all in order and then bring it before the town council.
How long?
No worries, Jerry. Sounds like Mother Nature has put the kibosh on construction moving forward at that site for now anyway.
No, it needs to be shut down permanently. If this is Wampanoag burial ground,
If I'm handling it.
yeah, everybody's handling it.
Jerry storms away. Interior, the lift Prius. The Prius travels along narrow Surfside Road as the fog settles and lifts as if keeping the rain at bay. Aisling is in the back seat. Finn, happy-go-lucky 18-year-old, drives.
So the box is probably the best for chicken, and then it's an easy walk to Sandpiper for beers. Although after games, it's mostly not your age, which we don't care, but you might be uncomfortable.
You're in high school?
1 more year, but I'm older because I got held back. I lost a bunch of time after the accident, so I'll have to repeat a bunch of stuff. Oh, hey, not to worry, it was not a car accident. I was sailing with some buddies and we got blindsided. Storm flies in, we scramble to get to shore. Mast swings wide, crack, right on my noggin. My bros flew into action or I would have slipped right off the side into dark, wet, permanent death.
Aisling uncomfortable. Finn clueless.
There are worse ways to die, valid. But I got life to live, know what I mean? When I'm old, sure, no biggie. I'll take a skiff out into a storm and let some crazy raging wave swallow me between those 570 square miles between the vineyard and home. You know what they call it? Graveyard of the Atlantic. There's like 3,000 wrecks there, a freaking parking lot of carnage.
Aisling, moist forehead and lump in throat.
Don't get me wrong. I have no death wish. No one wants to die at my age. But 90 when I'm in diapers? I'll choose my own way out. Thank you very much.
Aisling is going to be sick.
Please pull over.
The Prius screeches to a stop. Aisling lurches forward, nearly slamming into the passenger headrest.
Turtle on the road? Give me a sec.
Aisling shakes her head. What?
A snapper! We got him as big as toilet seats here. Come see it. Ever have one hiss at you? A sight not soon forgotten.
I'd rather not.
I can't leave it in the road. Give me a few extra secs to move him. I gotta be cool. Bites or nasty?
Aisling takes a deep breath. She texts Kendra, headed to property, call later. She looks to the window. A turtle head flies at her inches from her face.
Jesus!
Oh, don't worry. I got a hold on it so it won't bite.
Aisling out the window point of view. On her right, Finn brings the turtle to the side of the road. On her left, a plaque on a large stone rests on the ground. She squints to read, Mayacamet Indian Burial Ground. There are no other markers in the field. Finn gets in the car.
Glad I saw it. Next person might not have.
He starts the car, pulls out, and goes right back to the banter.
We've got 3 species of native turtles on the island. Painted, snapping, spotted. There are rumors of a 4th.
Aisling looks out the back window to the burial ground receding into the distance. Deleted scenes. The Prius arrives at a strip near Lighthouse Road, but can't get across because of the flooding. Finn offers his mom's Bronco, which could make it across, so they drive to his house. Exterior quarry house later. Finn and Aisling get out of the Prius, which is parked on the dirt driveway next to a Ford Bronco.
I'll be right back.
He jogs to the typical Nantucket gray wood shingle cottage. Aisling watches a bald eagle swoop overhead. Miriam emerges from the house.
We meet again.
Aisling confused.
Finn's my son.
Oh, he's a nice kid.
He's surprisingly grounded, considering my husband and I aren't always. Weird situation. Anyway.
You're married.
Did you think I was hitting on you at the bar?
No. Yes. Maybe a little. It was that opening line.
Valid. I just really love your book. Those deep, deep feelings people harbor and never untether.
I like the way you put that. I may have to steal it.
It's all yours.
Aisling looks to the house for Finn to emerge. He doesn't.
What situation, if you don't mind me asking?
My husband lives in Alaska. Well, sometimes. He works construction. He's always loved it there, and I'm not leaving the island. We agreed we didn't need to live together to be together. You probably think that's weird.
It sounds perfect. Pretty much our arrangement too. My wife, Kendra.
Kids?
A daughter. I have a daughter. I had. She died about 6 months ago.
I'm so sorry.
Miriam pulls her sweater tighter.
Ooh, it's cold, isn't it? Let me go see what happened to Finn. He gets distracted.
Finn bounds out of the house.
You're still here?
Well, yeah.
Oh, I thought you were driving her.
Why would... Never mind. Sorry, I'll bring you. Finn, Jerry is dropping something off. If he gets here while I'm gone, have him hang out until I get back.
Finn gives the thumbs up.
You have the keys?
In the ignition.
Hop in.
They get in. The Bronco backs down the driveway. Finn runs toward them. The Bronco stops. Passenger window comes down.
I'll be giving you 5 stars.
He eagerly awaits Aisling's response.
I'd give you 6 if I could.
Finn flashes a wide grin and gives her the thumbs up. The Bronco drives away. On the ground, a bald eagle feather. Finn picks it up. He brings it into the house. Deleted scenes. Jerry performs a native ritual in the darkness of the Mayacamet Indian burial ground. He has a scrimshaw with him. Miriam gets Aisling across the flooded isthmus to the lighthouse. She offers her phone number in case the weather turns and Aisling needs to leave. The wind howling fiercely through its walls, Aisling takes shelter in the lighthouse cottage. Exploring her environs, she discovers a narrow hallway to the lighthouse tower. She climbs the precarious steps and sees an antique telescope pointed at the rocks below. Exterior Manannan Lighthouse, lantern, platform deck. Aisling looks across the strait to the sparsely inhabited island of Tuckernuck. Below her, seals lounge on treacherous rock formations. They take turns diving on and off the rocks. A young woman climbs among the rocks at the water's edge.
Hello? Hey!
A fog bank floats across, obscuring the view. When it's moved on, no one is there. Aisling searches the rocks, the horizon, nothing. Interior Manannan Lighthouse Cottage, common room, night. A single lamp lights the room. Aisling takes Miriam's number out of her pocket, then puts it back. She orders a lift on her phone app. 25-minute wait. The sound of rain on the roof is relentless. Aisling pulls her coat tight and plops on the couch. A lightning bolt flashes through the window, illuminating a neon shadow against the wall. Aisling jumps.
Who's there?
She uses her cell phone flashlight for more light. No one there, but a wooden coat tree that could have cast the weird shadow.
Shit.
She drops back on the couch, turns off her flashlight. A notification pops up that her Lyft ride was canceled.
Double shit.
She retrieves Miriam's number from her pocket, tries calling. No cell service. She lights a log in the fireplace. She tries to call. Still no service. The room fills with smoke. Aisling, coughing, tries to wave the smoke away. No use.
Damn it.
She jiggles the damper lever to open the flue. It's stuck. She chokes as smoke fills the room. She kicks the lever. It loosens, sending a pile of soot down the chimney. She plops onto the couch, tries her phone, no service.
Damn.
She relights the log in the fireplace, grabs a wool blanket from the shelf, and settles in. Interior Manhattan Lighthouse lantern room, night. Pipe smoke swirls up from the stairs. The antique nautical spyglass from the opening scene rests next to the telescope. Interior Winds of Change antiques. The only sheriff of a town in the state of Massachusetts with no jail, Sheriff Bob Wixom is calm and collected. He hovers near doors who's overcome with agitation. Bob glances at the open scrimshaw case.
Are you sure you locked it?
Of course I'm sure. It's open now because I opened it.
So you didn't see her take it while she was here. And you're sure the case was locked when she left?
It was her.
What was the missing item's value?
It only had recently come in, so I haven't had the time to appraise it as such. Some of these artifacts, precious art, worth thousands of dollars. Did you know a Frederick Merrick fetched over $50,000 at auction?
Bob surveys the shop, sees a camera up in the corner.
Did you take a look at the security footage?
I've been so flustered.
Come on, let's take a peek.
She follows him, stops, goes back and locks the case.
You're positive you put that one in the case to begin with?
I feel like I'm the one on trial here.
Not my intention, Doris.
She follows him to the back room. Deleted scene. Aisling, asleep on the couch, awakens to the sound of a violin. She follows the music to the lighthouse tower and climbs the steps. When she enters the room, the music stops. On the platform deck stands 19th century whaler, Captain Emmett Strong, the violin in his hand. Exterior Manhattan Lighthouse platform deck. Aisling stands just feet from him.
I'm waiting for you.
Is this a joke? Who are you?
You know who I am. Aisling Keneally.
You look like the captain in the painting. Captain Emmett Strong, the coward captain who let his men die.
He slams his violin onto the deck iron railing. The bow flies out into the air, spirals mercilessly in the wind down to the rocks below.
Never say that. Never!
His neck throbbing, teeth gritted, he takes one calculated step toward her. She steps back, visibly afraid.
You know nothing. If I didn't need you, I'd be done with you.
He storms past, circles to the other side of the deck. Aisling catches her breath. She turns to him, but he's already gone. The wind howls. She picks up the broken violin. She shivers, the damp chill cutting into her bones. Exterior, sea below the lighthouse. A seal pops up from the water, grabs the violin bow off the rock with its mouth, then slips back under. Exterior Manhattan Lighthouse cottage dawn. Aisling awakens, disoriented.
What time is it? Where's my phone?
She looks to the table, down to the floor, finds her phone under the couch. She sees something on the dining table. She drops her tightly wrapped blanket and gets up to see what it is. The sun's rays stream into the window, casting a glow across a broken violin. The violin. Aisling picks it up, studies it.
Oh my God.
She catches a whiff of something sweetly familiar. A curl of smoke drifts past her and into the galley. She puts down the violin and follows the smell. Interior galley. The curling smoke disappears into a long, skinny pantry cupboard. Aisling opens the cupboard, sees a strange mechanism. She pulls it, click. The wall slightly ajar, she pushes it open. The narrow opening is wide enough for her to squeeze through. She turns on her phone flashlight, climbs in, and descends steps that lead beneath the cottage. Deleted scenes. Aisling follows the smoke curls through the winding passage, at one time a secret smuggler's tunnel to the sea. The familiar smell and curls of the smoke remind her of something. She flashes back to being in the formal library of her parents' New England estate on the day of her father's funeral. The smell of his pipe still permeating the room. The sound of crashing surf brings her back to the passageway. She discovers a secret room. Interior, secret room. A tight, low room. The swirl of smoke dissipates. A wooden beam shelf nailed to the wall features 8 carved notches, spaced in uniform length. A single scrimshaw sits above the first notch. Aisling picks up the scrimshaw. A singing sailor is perched on a rock, a 19th century whaling ship in the background. She holds it closer. It's familiar. The sailor's face. Cut to flashback. Interior, Brotherhood of Thieves, 19 years ago. A guy with a head of brown curls hanging on the face of a tender smile winks at Aisling. She's entranced. Cut back to interior, secret room. The Scrimshaw sailor's face is the same face as the guy in the bar 19 years ago.
What the hell?
She puts the Scrimshaw back on the beam, steps back, staring.
What is happening?
The door slams shut. She spins, flings it open. A man's shadow disappears.
Hey! Hey!
Interior, secret passageway. Aisling bursts out the door, looks down the passage toward the sea opening. A male figure at the end of the tunnel. He turns, the sun shines on him. It's Captain Emmett Strong. Slam! Aisling turns to the closed door. She turns back. Strong is gone. She rushes through the passage to the sand. Aisling emerges from the passageway, steps toward the rocks. Strong turns to her.
I was cross with you. Deservedly so.
Last night wasn't a dream. You are Captain Emmett Strong.
You're not afraid.
No.
It was an observation, not a question.
He easily descends the rocks onto the sand near her.
You said you needed me. Why?
Are you a coward, Aisling Keneally? No, you're not. It is a coward who attempts to dissolve you until you no longer exist. A coward weaves a story that becomes your legacy.
Is that why you need me?
You need me.
He hands her a beat-up baseball cap, the same Cassidy hubcap worn by the young girl in the first scene. Aisling caresses it. Her hand trembles. She sees the black marker text in Lil's writing on the brim.
Mommy. Niawado Kailahuiha.
Aisling can barely speak, but she manages to mutter.
Mom. Never far apart.
You speak Irish.
A few phrases. Where did you get this?
In the distance, yelling.
Miss Keneally! Aisling!
Captain Strong climbs up on the rocks, perilously close to the water's edge.
What do you know about my daughter? What do you want from me?
I know your truth. Should you not prove mine?
I don't know what that means. What are you talking about?
Life is the greatest treasure, is it not?
Edgar's voice is closer.
Miss Keneally! Aisling, you here?
Be cautious of voices who would persuade you otherwise.
Aisling looks up toward the cottage. Edgar rounds the corner. She looks back. Strong is gone.
There you are. Your voicemail was full.
Aisling checks her pockets. Nothing there.
Everything okay?
My phone. I must be inside. Were we meeting here?
No, I went to the inn. They said you hadn't come back from yesterday.
You knew I came out here?
Finn, your Lyft driver, dates the front desk clerk. I brought the contract for your signature.
I'm not ready to sign.
Oh, need a day, a week? Here's my concern. If you dawdle on this, well, I'd hate for you to miss the opportunity, and then you and the island is left with an eyesore, an abandoned property. What you do today matters.
It won't be abandoned. I'm thinking about staying.
I thought we had a deal. At least that's the way we do things here. Word is bond with families living here since Nantucket was Nantucket. All the way back to people whose families founded the island.
I thought the Wampanoag founded the island.
You know what I mean.
I do.
I'll leave this with you to review anyway. You'll see it's the right thing to do. A win-win.
He reaches out to hand her the contract. She doesn't take it.
I'm not selling right now. I'll let you know if I change my mind.
Edgar forces a smile, stuffs the contract into his pack. He looks beyond her to the rocky area from where she came.
Be careful out there. Those rocks are more slippery than they look.
He marches away and out of sight. Aisling climbs up on the rock where she last saw Captain Strong. She peers out at the sea. A buoy clangs in the distance. Storm clouds on the horizon. A wind gust almost knocks her over. She catches her balance, then climbs down the rocks. A faint ring, different from the buoy. Ring again. She listens intently, walks to the passageway entrance, stares down it into the darkness. An inkling of salty, cold wetness sloshes against her ankles. The tide is closing off the entrance. Ring. She follows the sound. Deleted scenes. Edgar is on the phone, angry that he didn't close the deal. Threatens the unknown person on the receiving end that they need to take care of it. Aisling finds her cell phone in the secret room. She's missed multiple calls from Kendra, so calls back to tell Kendra that she's not coming back to Boston, but staying on the island. When Kendra protests, she pretends there's a bad signal and hangs up. Kendra is concerned that grief is overwhelming Aisling, but with the fog canceling all flights and the ferry at capacity, Kendra can't get to her. Interior secret room. Aisling puts her phone in her pocket. On the beam, there is a second scrimshaw, 6 notches away from the first one. She studies it. The etching is of seals frolicking around a rock formation, on which sits a young woman about 18 years old. It's the same scrimshaw Jerry found at the town dump. Aisling inspects it more closely. The young woman's smile is too familiar.
Lil? Oh my God. Lil!
Aisling bolts out of the room. Interior secret passageway. Aisling races toward the sea, echoing down the tunnel.
Strong! Captain Strong, where are you?
Exterior Smuggler's Rocks. Aisling emerges from the passageway straight into the incoming tide. She sloshes through the water.
God damn it, Captain, where are you?
The wind howls, thunder crackles. Aisling trudges out of the water onto the sliver of beach not submerged, wet sand around her ankles. She races past the cottage to the lighthouse. Interior lighthouse stairs. Aisling frantically takes the steps 2 at a time, stumbles and almost falls flat. Exterior Manannan lighthouse platform deck. The rain pelting her face, Aisling searches the rocks below. She wildly shakes the scrimshaw, screaming to be heard above the howling wind.
Captain! Where are you? Where did this come from?
Captain Strong emerges from the rocks. He looks up to her. A gust of wind throws her off balance. The scrimshaw comes loose from her hand, but she manages to catch it before it falls. She peers down at the rocks. Captain Strong is gone. She grabs the iron rails, clutching the scrimshaw. She's a broken woman.
Lil, are you out there? My Lil.
The howling gusts subside to a subtle whispering wind. It sounds like a female's voice.
Mommy!
Aisling, entranced. Is it the wind? End pilot. Yay!
Yay!
Oh my gosh, that was so cool to watch.
That was really cool to watch.
Thanks everybody again for being here, for being a part of it. Great comments. Everybody's enjoying. Thank you so much. Congratulations, Mugs. Fantastic job.
How does it feel, Mugs? How does it feel?
It feels amazing. You guys, it's like in rehearsal to see you, but then to see it final like that, you were all so amazing. Thank you. It feels so good to see and hear what type.
It is a mad thing when you write you have the voices in your head and it's not just madness, although some of it's madness. And then
there's a lot of voices.
then you get to see these voices turn into people, and then to say your words and to bring all that other stuff to it that the actors bring. So
it's to bring so much to it. It truly is a collaboration. All of you, it was amazing. Thank you.
Well, I want to see more episodes. I'm sure other people do as well. I did forget to mention at the top that those deleted scenes, so her pilot was a bit longer, but for the purposes of tonight, we wanted to have it a little bit shorter, easier nuggets. So some of the scenes we took out, but we didn't want you to miss what was happening in those scenes. So that's what that was. Those deleted scenes were just a little recap of what those scenes were, but they are still in the pilot, very much so, just not for tonight.
Yes.
Okay, let's hear from Anne, and then we'll come back to you for the Q&A. Sound good?
That's good.
Hi, everyone. I'm Anne Renton. I had a fabulous time directing the table read for Nantucket. I just want to say thank you to all the actors and to Mugs for writing a wonderful script, and to Molly and everyone at ISA for, helping make this process go so smoothly. I directed my first table read, my screenplay, pre-pandemic. We rehearsed scripts in person during the day and presented the readings in the evening to an in-person audience. The readings went really well, and I had a wonderful time working with all the actors and with Molly and everyone at ISA on both those scripts. This table read was virtual, and so it was all done over Zoom. I missed working with the actors in person, but overall, it was a really positive and rewarding experience. I love working with actors, and directing a staged reading means you can focus on the script and performances and not all the other layers and aspects associated with filming. Mugs' script Nantucket is a very unique and engaging story. It has a really specific visual style, and it paints the beauty and mystery of Nantucket and the really interesting characters that inhabit that world. The script has a lesbian lead, and I'm really interested in championing LGBTQ+ stories and writers, and that really drew me to this script and made me want to direct and be a part of this table read. Mugs was an incredible collaborator in this process. She really understands story and also understood how some of the visual elements needed to be adjusted for this table read. She worked really quickly and smartly to help bring the best version of her script for the read. I love casting, and I was thrilled that I could cast the talented and brilliant Heidi Salzman for the lead in Nantucket. We were also able to cast other really experienced actors for all the roles, and it was just such a pleasure to work with everyone. Working with Molly and ISA is such a seamless process. Molly is fantastic. She's so experienced, a great organizer, a wonderful producer, and she did such a good job as the narrator in Nantucket as well. A table read is really important for a writer because they get to hear their words said out loud by experienced actors. This process is really helpful. It gives the writer an opportunity to really get a sense of what's going on with the script, like perhaps where the rhythm might not quite be right, or where the subtext of what was intended in the words isn't quite landing. There's a lot of different aspects of a script which can really come to light through this read, and a writer can get a deeper understanding of what's going on and how things might need to be adjusted to make their script stronger. I had a wonderful time directing Nantucket for Table Read My Screenplay. I loved working with all the actors. Thank you all so much for all the time you put in, for your effort, for your thoughtfulness on your characters and the script. And Mugs, I'm super excited to see what happens with Nantucket and also with everything else you go on to do. You're so talented, and it was a pleasure to work with you.
I think that's a 10-star review there, Mugs.
I know.
Yeah, that was pretty good. It's very humbling.
That's pretty awesome.
Well, you should feel great because Anne really did have a wonderful, wonderful experience with you. So
Well, she made it so easy. She's such a great collaborator. I mean, from the very first phone call, we just started talking, and we clicked immediately. So you just know, like they say, try to be good in a room. Well, nowadays you have to be good on the phone. You have to be good on the Zoom. It was so easy. It was seamless and so easy to work with her.
Okay, I'm gonna let you all start the Q&A.
okay.
Thank you
Thank
again,
you.
Molly.
Thank you
Molly,
so much.
Molly,
This was so fantastic. Actors, you're brilliant. Everybody. This is not the last you will hear from me.
Let's give all our actors one more hand before they go off camera, and we're going to ask Mugs and Felicity some questions. Mugs, I'm going to start with you. I just want you to recap this experience a little bit. Tell me what, how the process was for you. Was it what you expected it to be? Were there any surprises that came up?
You know what? It was more than I expected, actually. You know, you hear about a table read and how important they are. And this went above and beyond that, because I mean, just the way Scott edited it was like, it was watching something amazing. And the smoke curl with the pipe, I mean, things like that were brilliant. But the whole process from beginning to end was, like I said, it was seamless. It was really easy. For me, anyway, to have Anne come and she gave notes and they were great suggestions, and then Molly, and to have to cut it down, it was not difficult to do, because the whole process, everyone was so engaged in it that it just seemed like the right thing to do. So I specifically didn't want to see the product before tonight because I wanted it to be fresh. And I sat here and I thought, I'd like to see that show. But
I would too. I would. I am very excited. I actually had a dream about it the other night, and I woke up and I was like, man, Nantucket needs to be made. And I'm not just blowing smoke. Like, it's really, really cool. And we're all just sitting here for like the last 2 weeks, like wondering what happens. What is going on in this story? Was there any surprises for you in terms of like notes that Anne gave you that shifted in your brain in terms of what was on the page prior to the table read? Like, did you make any shifts in your script that you were like, oh, duh?
You know, subtle ones, because I wasn't sure how much to change it from what was given, but her notes, yes, absolutely. I'm trying to think of one specifically, but I remember looking at a page and something about it just wasn't really working. And she just made a comment and I went, oh, and the dialogue, which was so dialogue heavy, became like just one line, and it was all that needed to be said. You know, so it's so important, like the table read, to even tonight, I'm thinking, I didn't want to take notes because I wanted to enjoy it, but I'm already thinking, oh, I might tweak that, I might change that. You think you see it and hear it on the page, but you can't.
Right. I think that's one of the main aspects, and Felicity, I'll go to you too about this, is we always talk about how important reading your script and hearing it out loud is, but why is that? Why is it important for a writer to actually hear the rhythm of your words spoken? And especially when you get, you know, proper actors, not just friends, but what does that do?
Yeah, I think you kind of hit the nail on the head with the word rhythm, because this script is incredibly beautifully written before you start. So, you know, off the page, the descriptions are insanely beautiful. I really want to start with this quote. You start with, this is how Mugs starts this script. The Irish are a race of people for whom psychoanalysis is of no use whatsoever. When in emotional trouble, they go to poetry, storytelling, or escapism. Sigmund Freud. And so then she takes that idea and turns it into all the things that are happening in this script. It's just like, boy, okay, that's a beautiful beginning. That's such a great kind of like, it's almost a path, a roadmap of what's ahead of what we're going to experience with these characters. But it's when you listen to actors who with one line can give you subtext, they can give you emotion, they can tell you it's a secret, they can lie for you, you can suddenly understand so much more about what's going on without it having to be written. And so I think the first thing table read can do is show you where it has been overwritten dialogue wise. I think exposition really kind of like, woo, I mean, it's off the page. You're like, oh no. And then I went into, you know, how are you feeling? I'm feeling very upset. You know, all that stuff kind of disappears, I think, as well. You kind of go, okay, I can say I've ruined the spaghetti. And when in ruining the spaghetti, you can understand how you feel about it. You know, you can use something else. So I think it's, it gives you great context. It gives you great subtext. And then also I think actors are brilliant. I mean, this team in particular were amazing. I mean, my goodness, my goodness, my goodness, my goodness. I was like looking in their eyes, and it meant so much to them. And they come up with really good ideas. You know, if you listen to actors and you actually trust them to get some feedback, they will help you. They will help you get better. They will help the script get better. And I tell you, these actors were probably like, can you write us something else? Can you write me all the roles forever? You know, because we don't get to read. I mean, there were such amazing roles for females here.
Yeah, all the roles were so rich. It just felt like they really had life to them. And I love that they, even on the page, they felt different from each other, which is so important. Mugs, what was your favorite section or scenes that you heard in this table read? Like, what was your favorites? Just, it's not really a technical question, just for you, like, what was your favorite part?
Well, there were two instances. One was when Ashley Heidi, she didn't even speak. It was just, she just looked in Will Bascom's office, just Ted Bascom. She just looked, and it was the look. And I thought, that's exactly what I wanted to write. And it was like, she knew that. So that's the actor bringing something to the page. And then my other favorite scene is with the captain, with Peter. His steely eyes are steely eyes. And you don't even have to say he steps forward, because I just pull back when he speaks. Like, he has such a presence on the screen that you can't hope for more.
I know, when we were rehearsing and Peter came on as Captain Strong, I was like, whoa, it just came to life. And I was just like, wow, I'm so excited. That was just perfect casting.
Yeah.
I mean, cast him right now, Captain Strong. So again, Mugs, to you, I'm going to ask you one more, and then I'm going to go to Felicity for a couple. How has this table read experience enhanced or evolved your writing moving forward? How are you seeing the future of your writing in terms of like remembering what this experience was like and what you've taken from the table read?
I'm going to be really, really conscious of dialogue and being too much in my head, to allow the grace of, when I describe something action-wise, to know that the actors, through very subtle dialogue, they understand immediately. Like, it doesn't have to be so verbose. Sometimes I just love to go off into that world, and here we are in Nantucket, and I'm going to start to explain things to them. I want to mention all the shop names, and I just get so immersed in it that I forget, okay, let's move the story forward. And to hear it and see it, it's really made me conscious of every page to look at and go, am I moving the story forward?
Right. Do you like, what is your knowledge of Nantucket? Are you
I've never been there.
Oh, wow.
I love to write, for anyone that knows, and Felicity probably does. My stories, World War II, 1940s, Europe in the whatever. So during the pandemic, I specifically wanted to write something that was contemporary, because I thought I need to come into now. But I still love the research, and I love immersing myself in the unknown. So I specifically picked Nantucket because I had heard a lot about it. I'd been around it. I'd been to Martha's Vineyard, but I'd never been there. So it gave me the opportunity to immerse myself in the world.
Well, you fooled me. I was like, she must be from Nantucket. I don't know. So great job again, Mugs. It was,
thank you.
I mean, riveting and wonderful and mysterious, and so many layers, and everything that a pilot should honestly be, where you have some setup, you have some answers, but you also have some questions. And then there's a lot of questions and a lot of intrigue, and we're all, hoping for the best that we get to see this and see more episodes. So for Felicity, let's talk about Mugs a little bit. Let's talk about Mugs, I know, as the table read winner. What was it? I know, close your ears, Mugs. What was it about this Nantucket script for you and the readers that really stood out as a winning table read script? Besides the usual like contest winning requirements.
Yeah. I mean, I feel with table reads, there's a real push towards comedy and drama, because they tend to do very well with the dialogue. And with the table read, you are looking for characters that are, having a good conversation and telling us a lot through what they're saying. And we're learning a lot of the story through dialogue. I think it's really hard to win a table read contest with a science fiction script that is full of very descriptive action. Same with action movies that are full of fights and stuff like that. It just doesn't really lend itself, I think, to a really good table read. You've explained a lot, I think, about the quality that we found, which is this mystical, kind of whimsical, layered, this gets that kind of moments with it. I mean, I feel like that's the thing, is like you don't want to feel that anything is forced, but there were so many secrets. It felt like around every corner there was another mystery and another kind of door unlocked, and the 8 little shells for the scrimshaws, and we've got 2 now, and what do the others mean? And Ashleen kind of like being at the end of it, kind of knowing that she's not going to leave, not because she wants to renovate the place, but because her daughter might be there. You know, this mystery of her ex-husband, you know, so that there were just so many things to grab onto that made you kind of excited. It felt like I was watching it when I was reading it. I felt like I was in the pilot and I was watching it. And as you said this as well, everyone was so distinct. Their voices were so clear. You could understand the different levels of even class, and who had been there forever, and who was an outsider, and, you know, who was concerned about money, and who had a secret, you know, just all that stuff. So, and then I think we really were looking for something a bit different, you know, to find a mystery. So can you, with this medium, I mean, like Scott does an amazing job of really adding this other atmosphere, this other quality to it. But does it still hold your attention? Can you listen to a lot of storytelling and still care about the story? But I felt like actually it worked incredibly well. Molly did a wonderful job, and it just because it's so well written and I don't know, sinewy,
right?
You know, it meant we could be in it and we could follow it along.
Yeah, there's a lot to grab onto in there. There's a lot of things that, I mean, I've read it multiple times and now heard it a couple times, and there's new little nuggets that I heard or read that I was like, whoa, okay, that I didn't hear the last time. And you know, it's difficult sometimes when you're reading a script because you're reading so fast to sort of like get through it. But when you hear it sometimes and you're hearing these distinct actors reading the parts, it's really great because you really do get to hear those little nuanced things, and like you get to find little nuggets that weren't there. I love that. Love sinewy. Just like that. Okay, just a couple more questions and then we're going to get everybody out of here. Felicity, what advice do you have for our screenwriters who are on here, who are trying to get to that next level, that next step? What's sort of the climate out there? Like what's going on? And I want to finish this with some like words of encouragement, because I'm reading a lot in the chat of being enthused about writing again and sort of getting, you know, we've all been in this lull for a long time of like, you know, Zoom and trying to get back out there. So I feel like we need some like inspiration, and Felicity is the queen of inspiration. So I'm handing it to her to inspire. No pressure.
Yeah, no pressure. Thank you. No, I feel like the thing I didn't say about Mugs, and actually I feel like I went off into storytelling rather than talk about Mugs. Mugs is persistent. She is talented and she's persistent. You know, Mugs will try every angle. She will throw her hat into the ring. She will enter contests. She will try different ways. She has a production company with her wife. She will work and build and create work for herself if she isn't being hired by someone else. That kind of sense of can do, will do, won't give up. I'm in charge. It's my life. Who gets to say no to me? You know, I have to say yes to me, is definitely what's needed right now. I don't think you can be a screenwriter if you are only looking to sell your product, because there is no guarantee. It's not like a normal job. It's not like you can do it for so long or go to the, you know, work so hard or kind of make your way up a company and then someone's going to buy it. It just doesn't work like that. You have to write because it's your passion, because it is a story that you have. It's that you go to sleep at night and these characters talk to you before you go to sleep. You know, they interrupt you at meal times and kind of like tell you about a bit of plot that you maybe have forgotten about. And that is why you write, because you have this idea in your head that needs to be told, and you do it actually for you. I mean, the world will benefit for you telling this story, but you tell your story, you work out your problems, you think about your ideas and the things that keep you up at night, or your questions about humanity, and you work them out on the page. I think there's a lot, I would say, of Mugs in this pilot. There's a lot. It's very, the relationship is it feels very real. So you can draw on the things that you have in your life and flesh out your writing with that, and do it because you love the process. Because I know it's hard. I know it's crap. You're going to have, I'm going to 5 hours and I'm going to sit there and I'm going to write for 10 minutes of those 5 hours. And the rest of the time I'm going to sit there and I'm going to hate myself. But that turning up for yourself is it. Turning up for yourself to sit at the page to try and write this moment. That's your inspiration. Get lost in the process. Enjoy you putting your ideas down there. Then once you've written the thing, this beautiful thing, then it's all about work. I mean, I'd like to say that now you've written it, someone's just going to swan in and kind of buy it from you, but they are not. So now you have to submit it to contests. You have to get peer reviews. You have to do table reads. So a contest is a good way of judging where you are in comparison to other scripts of the type. But you have to be careful, do your research in the contest, make sure that they like scripts like yours, make sure it's worth the money, make sure that it's a proven contest. The ISA has a list of proven contests on its website, so that you are actually kind of getting the benefit from it, from actually entering the contest and putting your work out there. You really have to work on your logline. Your logline is probably going to be this is your intro for mainly your script to most people. They won't read the script. They won't know anything about it. They'll read a logline and they'll say yes or no. So how good is your logline? How much is it actually telling your story? How can you make it so that it's undeniable, that someone goes like, oh my goodness, I have to read this script because I'm so intrigued by what this is. And then I think you just have to, if you keep getting notes, you keep getting the same note, realize that you have to work on that piece. Also, if you're reading it, there's a bit you keep rushing over. I just keep rushing over that bit. There's something
No one will notice.
Yeah, I like to speed read that bit. There's a problem for you there. It's the same if you're an actor. You go like, I'll just say these lines really quick,
right.
And just go and get them over with. So do that. And then I think find your crew, create a mood board. You will need pitch materials. I'm sorry, this is like a big lecture. It feels like a monologue, but the idea of creating this mood board is for you to go and like go into your imagination. What would it look like? How could you create this world? Do your A-list actors do your best fantasy version of this. This should be part of playing, of creating this incredible visual feast that represents the story that you've told. And you get to do it. I mean, I know it's like free work, writers always have to do all the work. Correct, you do. I'm sorry, it's free work. But it will help you. It's just a shortcut for someone reading it, and that is what they want to do. They want a shortcut, because people it takes a long time to read a script. It's going to be an hour. So if there's a quick visual representation and you've got to pour your heart into creating this lovely world for them, and then they're like, okay, I want to see that work.
Right. And
then I think just kind of keep going. Don't give up. A movie takes at least 2 years to make. Make sure you like the producers and the people you're working with. The TV show, it's slightly different. You've got to find everyone else that are part of your puzzle. As a baby writer, are you going to be a showrunner? Probably not. You don't want to be either. Do you know what I mean? You don't want to start there. I'd say you want to work with someone else first to help you, and then you can shadow and learn and grow. But understand that, again, that's all part of your process, that there is no end goal. As soon as you get your end goal, it's always a next. So make sure you're having fun in the meantime.
Excellent. Mugs, I'm going to let you say any final words that you want to say, and then we are going to get out of here.
I just want to say thank you. Enter the table read contest. There's a lot of contests out there. This gives you something tangible. You can get a laurel, great, but this gives you something that you can actually use in your writing. So I encourage everyone to enter. And I want to say again, thank you to everyone at ISA. Thank you to all the actors. Thank you to Scott. Just thank you to Anne. It was a great experience. And I hope every writer out there gets the opportunity to do this.
Awesome. If you guys want to submit to the next Table Read My Screenplay, it's open right now. Go to tablereadmyscreenplay.com. And check out our events page. We've got some really great events coming up. So make sure you guys go there and check it out.
You've said everything. I was just going to mention the events coming up. Yes, check out the events page. There's lots of good ones coming up. Thanks, everybody. This was
Awesome.
a fun, amazing, inspirational evening. We hope to see you again very soon. Have a wonderful weekend.
And Scott, thank your wife.
Yes.
Absolutely,
Wendy.
will do.
Bye, everybody.